Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
But a quick word, I think once we know that India are going to be playing no further part in this tournament, I'd like to get both your thoughts on the outgoing coach. DK, we've talked a lot about Virat Kohli and his achievements on the field. He, of course, will very much be a part of that batting order. But for Ravi Shastri, sometimes we tend to overlook the achievements of the guys sitting on the bench there. And I think he deserves a bit of a pat on the back too.
100%. I think, when he did come on to take the job, it was at a pretty tumultuous time. We weren't playing as well as we should. We had in 2012-13, that's when he came in, and then the way he's steadied the ship, taken control of it, brought in the kind of systems that he's done, handpicked his support staff, and they've done a very good job. We will always, keep speaking about the fact that they don't have an ICC trophy, but we should also remember they've won as many bilaterals, second to none in the world. He's taken the team to a World Test Championship final, a World Cup semi-final, a World T20 semi-final. So some fabulous work there by him as a coach, and I've thoroughly enjoyed in the limited time that I've spent with him. I think he's been very good, very positive overall. I would say I genuinely wish people remember this set of coaches for all the good things that they've achieved. Batting, bowling, and most importantly, the standard of fielding has gone up a couple of notches in the last 4-5 years. A lot of credit must go to R. Sridhar for that. I think he's been fabulous in that department. The bowling as well, going abroad, picking up 20 wickets consistently, and you're always judged on how well you play Test cricket. And Bharat Arun has done a fabulous job over a period of time. And credit to Ravi Shastri, when the chips were down, 36 all out, 74 all out, he found ways to pull that team up, get them going, and win series from situations which exactly weren't in India's favor. So I hope they're always remembered for the nice things that they've done over a period of time. Giving MS Dhoni a very, very nice send-off as well, making that journey for him very comfortable. There are so many things that I could speak about, and I think overall he's definitely taken Indian cricket to a very safe place. Now it's up to Rahul Dravid to take it to an even better place in the next couple of years.
Truly, it's easy to celebrate the highs, but you really need to look at the morale of a team when you're on a low. 36 all out couldn't have been easy, and even without being in there, I could just tell that someone like a Ravi Shastri would have an influence with the kind of words he'd come in there and say. I mean, you've seen him as a broadcaster and, of course, as a coach.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'll never hide my my love for Ravi Shastri, and as a mate, as a colleague in the early days, and just the admiration for taking on that role and doing what he's done with that Indian team, and along with Sridhar and Bharat Arun and all the all his support staff who he's sort of taken through on that very journey. We talked about it earlier this evening, and the legacy will be the bilateral tournaments overseas, the bilateral series overseas for me. You just, the depth that has been created, the depth that has been welcomed. We saw that on offer in spades in that Australian series, which was just phenomenal. Probably one of the great series that I've watched. I mean, you go back to the 2005 Ashes, that is the next best series I've watched, I think, that Indian-Australian series in Australia. So what Ravi has been able to do to transcend from really not doing a lot of coaching. You remember he came pretty much straight out of the commentary box. He wasn't really a career coach. Knows the game unbelievably well, has talked about the game with all of us on so many occasions, but walks out of a commentary box into a high pressure situation with his combination with Virat, I think, has been exceptional. And just the way that, I mean, I know Ravi so well, and the way that he will take some of those young guys under his wing and just nurture them and look after them, but also be harsh enough with them when the time is required as well. The enormous respect that he has in Indian cricket and from those players, from young players to old players, I think is something that needs to be mentioned. And just the strength that he leaves this Indian side in now. Don't worry about this tournament. I mean, these things happen, and they can happen. And under enormous pressure, players, sides can crumble, and they can have bad performances. And one or two bad performances knock you out of a tournament. But don't let this be what you remember those guys for. He has left Indian cricket in an incredibly strong position with a great bunch of players, whether you've got the guys that were here or the ones on the periphery coming through, a test match team that is absolutely outstanding, and and plenty of talent to choose from. And wherever he goes from here, whether he comes back to join us in the commentary box or whether he takes that little crew of mates of his and goes off to coach a new franchise team, which I've read in the last couple of days might be happening. I just wish him all the best. He's a champion human being, and I look forward to a glass of red wine with him when I get to Mumbai for the Test series shortly.